Testing 1 2 1 2. Hello, hey. I welcome all ghosts and ghouls alike. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, for the finale spoiler talk of Obi-Wan Kenobi, episode 6 or part 6 finale. Regardless, it's the same thing. And I'm joined with Diary and Grugo, and we're gonna talk about it. Again, spoiler talk. This is an episode where you don't want to get spoiled on because a lot of stuff happens and a lot of special moments happen that you just have to see for yourself. So if you haven't watched it, go watch that as well. And any other episode you want to hear me out talk about, it's already up on the channel. Check that out if you want. But again, spoiler talk. So it's gonna have spoilers. All right, spoiler warning. This is it. You gotta go watch it for yourself if you haven't, and then come back. All right. Hopefully everyone who's seen it is still here. All right. We good?
Yeah, we're good.
Oh, we're ready.
We're ready. You're good. Let's do this.
We're ready.
Let's talk.
Well, normally I talk chronologically order, like in the episode, like scenes that take place.
Do you want to break down the episode?
I'm pretty sure we're all... Yeah, I think we're all aware the main point of the episode is pretty present. So I don't know if you started that off that or started off with that first. Yeah, we can do that.
So how do you want to start this off?
Yeah, first thing that happens is, let's pick up from last episode. I didn't really know that how they were going to incorporate Luke, but he's in it a lot more than I thought. I didn't really know what to expect because I mean, obviously I knew Luke was going to play a part in it, and Reva was still alive, and we had to get another fight between Vader and Anakin. Fucking Vader and Anakin. Vader and Obi-Wan.
I love how they...
And I knew it was going to plan out, but I didn't know how they were going to execute it.
I love
God, phenomenal.
I was surprised it was like a split episode where they did it like, where Reva was kind of solo off by herself looking for Luke, and then at the very end, Obi-Wan came in. I thought Reva was gonna have more of an impact on what was going on in the Obi-Wan Vader fight.
I like how
they
didn't make this entire episode based on Leia. They put Luke into it, like all these other episodes about being Leia, and they finally added one of the main characters in Star Wars, Luke Skywalker. I just love how him getting like blah blah, like getting hunted down and all that is just amazing. But we'll get into that.
Yeah, them shedding light on Luke is a good thing too. The whole vendetta and the whole scenario that goes on with Obi-Wan is him, protecting Luke and Leia both and watching over them. And I'm glad they shed light on that too, and actually talked about Luke and showed him off. A lot of things happen with, like A New Hope, and a lot of things that come up in the show, kind of contradict things in A New Hope or affect it. I think in the end of it, this entire show bettered A New Hope in every way possible. I think it bettered every aspect of it.
It's starting off
everything that comes up.
Because remember from like New Hope, a lot of things that we didn't really understand until Kenobi came out. Like how Darth Vader versus Obi-Wan. Remember when he said, "Nice to see you again, old friend." And I love how he wasn't talking about when they first fought, when he was Anakin Skywalker still. He was talking about that fight scene in the final episode of Obi-Wan.
He did. He said the last time we met, you were the master, and I was but the learner.
Yeah. And he calls him master in the fight scene in this episode.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a good catch.
Even and I love how when Leia was talking to him, or it's like from R2's message, I don't understand how she forgot.
Yeah, that's something they need to...
for all these
No. At the end of the episode, they mentioned that they can't say it to anyone ever. They can't mention this, and they will both be in.
About that.
So
that's kind of.
I mean, yeah, they had to cover it somehow, but it worked. I think they did it.
They did.
Actually,
I'm glad they didn't leave a loophole. I was gonna say like they left a loophole there about how that happened. They covered it up. Everything. I don't like how they covered it up, but they did. And I'm glad that they did, because they left a lot of things uncovered and throughout the sequels and everything and some of these other shows. And I'm glad they kind of fixed everything.
Kenobi is real content. It's it's closed, it's packaged, and
it's a complete show. We got a lot of hate in the beginning.
Yeah, exactly.
I know it's a little bit.
But those last two episodes packed a punch.
But we gotta get into it right away. Master Qui-Gon Jinn.
The scene.
He is
Oh,
back,
no.
baby.
No, we'll wait for Qui-Gon. We'll wait for Qui-Gon.
Alright, we'll wait.
Because I think that many scenes I thought he was gonna show up, but he didn't until later
Yeah,
on.
like,
So we'll
I
get into
watched
that
a lot
later.
of TikToks. A lot of people on TikTok
But-
were saying like, oh,
Me too.
like what's it called? Part 6 or not part 6. Part 5 or part 4. He was gonna show up and help Obi-Wan
You know
get
what?
back Leia, but
I thought he was
I
gonna
thought
show
it
up
was
at.
way too early.
I thought he was gonna show up at the point where Obi-Wan landed on that planet. I don't know what that planet was. Or if that
when
was
he
a
was
moon.
sitting there,
But yeah, when he sat in the car, or the car.
when
he sat in the ship. Oh, when he sat in the ship, I was like, oh man, Qui-Gon's gonna start talking to him.
I feel like the best part
yeah.
of all this, like even like all the entire series, how Obi-Wan's doing after Order 66, how he was living, how he had a high for everything. I feel like he had to jump from planet to planet to planet, but he didn't have to do that because a lot of people didn't really recognize him, and he always kept an eye on Luke. And I feel like how do I say it?
It was just
the
laid
Empire
low.
is really
I know what you mean.
Didn't really look for him.
Yeah, I know what you
everyone
mean.
thought he was dead.
I really like that they
Except for
show
one
that too.
person.
How him hiding out. I said this in other videos, but I love when Star Wars, this show especially, in the first few episodes, it shows planets and like villages and towns on a much smaller scale. Because everything we see of Star Wars is on a large scale, and probably the most famous, like infamous thing across the galaxy of the Chosen One and Darth Vader and the most powerful beings in existence in Star Wars. Not in existence, but like, you know what I mean. But this show comes down at the beginning of it, has Kenobi smuggling and like, you know, hiding on planets, and it shows a much smaller scale things than this huge, grand story kind of thing until later on, which I really like. Same thing with The Mandalorian and other shows. It shows much smaller scale stuff, and not like this huge, like grand story kind of thing, which I really appreciate. Helps with world building, and I think it's a really good thing to appreciate when it comes to Star Wars, or especially in Star Wars.
Tatooine's gotta
I
be
think I know what
the
you mean,
most
though.
popular planet in Star Wars at this point now, right?
What, Tatooine?
Yeah, it's gotta have the most
Yeah,
screen
for
time.
sure.
It's one. It's
If it
one.
wasn't already.
Because you also gotta remember, like Mandalore's up there. The what's it called?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
even
yeah.
in
Mandalorian does not
all
announce
of Boba
that
Fett
Tatooine
was
though.
all of Boba Fett was on Tatooine. A lot of this show was on Tatooine. Like, you know what I mean?
But like,
Tatooine is the top planet, without doubt. Either that or the Death Star.
Tatooine-
And Death Star
Episode 1 and
doesn't count
Episode
as a
4 were
planet.
both on Tatooine.
Episode 1, yes. I thought you said episode 4 and episode 5. I was about to say like that's
Episode 4 was.
Yeah,
Episode 4 was
Tatooine
on
is
the
the top
beginning.
planet.
Frozen planet.
The top planets I think are Tatooine, Hoth, and probably Coruscant.
First.
I think.
Alright.
That's what comes to mind at least when I think
Alright,
about
we're
it.
getting off
Can we
topic.
talk about this? Can we talk about the?
Yeah, we are.
We gotta
Let's
talk about-
we're Star Wars in general in the episode.
One of my favorite
So,
part of this entire series, how
what
Darth
is it?
Vader always went to Kenobi, and now Kenobi told him to come to him. Like he wasn't like he literally told him to come face me and you. Instead of him running from him, he faces fear and he fought him.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
first time,
he
the
did
first
it-
time
he
they
did it
fought the
like a
show, he
man,
did
too.
run from him, and then the second time he came, like, well, I mean, he still
came
made
back even
Vader come
harder.
to him, but
Mm-hmm.
he, knew,
Instead
like,
of
he
Vader
wasn't
going
running
to
from
him,
the
he
fight.
made Vader.
this entire the show in general, but focusing on the primary like battle between Vader and Obi-Wan, it seems inevitable. Like it was bound to happen. Like obviously we didn't have the show before, but like just watching it, it felt inevitable, and it was like destiny that they met again, face to face. And
trying
the
to-
scenes that we saw in this episode were like bound to happen regardless, no matter what.
I love how they redid the words from episode 3 when he was
Yeah.
I forgot.
Fuck it, let's just get into the fight. Let's get into the fight.
Let's just get into this shit.
Yeah.
What was the
What
opening
he said-
lines that they said to him, or what did he say?
He
What
said.
did Obi-Wan say to him when they like first like
Yeah,
talked to
Vader
each other
said
on the
something
planet?
like. He said Vader said something like.
Oh yeah, have you come
um,
here to destroy me or something like that?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, exactly that.
Wait, he
Obi-Wan
said,
says,
I must do what
I will do what I
must.
must.
Yeah, that was.
Yes.
You will.
Yeah,
You will.
then you
die.
will die.
You will die.
There are so many callbacks and references to Revenge of the Sith and even Rebels. I know
And
that,
you will
and a bunch
Let's
of,
talk about
in general,
Kenobi's
loads of
fighting.
things.
Because
It's so amazing.
I'm not Jay. I'm sorry, but like I saw one of your videos. His fighting,
Go
I
ahead.
feel like got a lot better. Because you remember from episode 2, I think it was, when he fought Vader and he sucked, and then like episode 5, no, episode 4, when they were on the island, his saber skills were getting really good. And then the final episode, he finally showed.
This could be prime Obi-Wan.
Like he
Is this
finally
Obi-Wan in his
showed
prime?
his old apprentice.
No,
how the
probably
hell
not.
they use a lightsaber.
You don't think so?
No,
He
because-
defeated Vader single-handedly,
Yeah, but I think.
and Vader's probably in his prime too.
And
Like
you
in this
you
moment,
have to
in this
No,
like,
remember,
time period.
Vader is
No, I
one
don't
of the
think so, 'cause
greatest.
You
one
gotta
of the
think
greatest
about what
villains.
Vader said or what happened with Palpatine when he was talking to Palpatine. Because remember when Palpatine was like, "I think your feelings for your old master."
Oh yeah, that's
like
true.
weakening
He's
you.
conflicted the entire
Yeah,
time.
he's been so conflicted. Like and like by the time like A New Hope comes along, that's an older Vader, but it's probably like a little bit before that. That's like Prime Vader.
I
Right
feel
around,
like Rogue One kind of thing.
Yeah, a little. Yeah, definitely around
Yeah.
Rogue One.
But
Yeah,
like
it's
you have to
perfect.
Yeah,
remember
that's
all
true.
the
Time frame.
comics and all
Rogue
that.
One's the beginning of A New Hope. Like right around that time period. Like that's Prime Vader.
I
100%.
feel like how do I say it? Vader had so much anger to destroy Kenobi. I feel like Kenobi used that anger and like hit back
Against him?
Like against him. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that.
He was conflicted,
Mm-hmm.
and everyone used his
Anakin was
advantage.
still in there, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because when
It was
Yeah,
another
he
time
cut-
where
when-
it was
when
another
that
time where
final-
Obi-Wan left or gave up on him too early, in my opinion. I feel like he still gave up on him too early when he left. I feel like it was
But
still
that
kind of too late.
apologize,
There was no saving
I
him.
feel like when he apologized to Darth Vader or Anakin, a little bit of Anakin did come out and wanted to say, "I'm sorry too," but that didn't happen, and Vader like pushed him back down or like killed him or something like that, and just how do I say it? Like there was a
Defeated
little
him?
bit wanted to come out and like
He shot it down.
something.
He shot it down.
and then shot it back down, yeah, and said,
Oh yeah.
I was trying to I didn't really watch it very well. I was on my lunch break at work today when I was watching it, but I was watching it on my phone, so I couldn't really see too well. The lighting was a little bit off. But I was trying to look at his eyes the whole time. I didn't really catch forth from the Sith yellow, the regular Anakin's
Ooh,
regular blue
nah.
eyes. I couldn't really tell. I don't know if anybody else did. If anybody else.
No, it was full on.
noticed that.
It was full on Sith eyes. But
Was?
I really, yeah, it was.
I figured.
But an interesting thing was that when he becomes damaged and Obi-Wan messes him up or whatever in his suit and his helmet is exposed, you can see him into the helmet, the remains of what used to be Anakin. You could see the lighting from lightsabers shining off on and onto him.
Yeah,
So
you
the
get the
red,
red
which
one,
was
yeah,
really
yeah.
cool. It was a really good
I love
touch, I think,
how Obi-Wan,
and it was done
Obi-Wan
so
and
well.
Darth Vader, or I'm gonna say Anakin. Oh, fuck it. Anakin and Obi-Wan. First, it
Anakin
was,
died in Revenge of the Sith when Palpatine says you will be known as Darth Vader. Anakin died in that moment. Vader is born.
What's it called?
I
No,
tried so hard
I
to say
disagree
Anakin.
with that. I feel like because Anakin still had a lot to fight for at that point. Anakin was still fighting for
When they
Padme.
both shine on their faces, I'm
Oh
like,
yeah, you're
this
right.
is a
Padme
part.
was alive.
Like that's the part when they're both connected again, and then when the red saber shines on both their faces, Obi-Wan knows his friend is gone. And
Yeah, throughout
Vader
that
took
scene, I'm
over
pretty
him.
sure, if I'm not wrong, the red and the blue were flickering both on Anakin at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Mhm.
once Obi-Wan said, "I'm sorry,"
It
to
went
Anakin,
straight red.
The blue went away,
Yeah.
and the blue
The
was
lighting-
glaring on Obi-Wan's
Oh my
face when he
God.
said it too. It was beautiful, absolute beautiful scene. 10
dude,
out of 10.
This
Amazing.
entire scene,
Peak Star
Star
Wars.
Wars in general, is
Star
is
Wars.
poetry. This is the
One
most
of the best
honestly one of
series
my
by
favorite
far.
scenes I've seen of ever in Star Wars. I can't get over how much I appreciate this scene.
I love how they're reading, they doing all these mini series, like Mandalorian, Boba Fett. Pretty
And
soon
they've
Ahsoka, Ahsoka
like I
is
said,
gonna
though,
come out next year.
this
and
show-
I can't wait for that.
Yeah,
Because
Ahsoka's gonna be good.
she can probably sense or talk to Anakin when he's a Force Ghost. Because this is definitely the time after Anakin is dead.
Does Ahsoka take place after?
Yeah,
No,
it takes
Ahsoka doesn't.
it for Return of the Jedi.
No,
Nah, I don't think it does.
no, I
don't think
think,
we
I
see
think
Ahsoka
it takes.
past
I
that.
think it takes place. I'm trying to think. I don't think it's after
Just
Return of the
Book of
Jedi.
I
It
know it
can't be.
takes place because in the Mandalorian.
Actually, Book of Boba Fett takes place.
In the season 2 Mandalorian.
Yeah, after. Yeah.
What's it called? Luke comes down nowhere.
Wait.
Luke.
Yeah, but that's at a
yeah,
different
yeah,
time
yeah.
period. I think that's at a different time. I don't know. Maybe
He
I'm
had
wrong.
this green lightsaber at the time, and he
I
had
know,
his
but I don't
hand
think
and
that's
all
when
that.
Ahsoka's gonna. I don't think that's when Ahsoka's gonna be.
Well,
Because I
I
think
gotta see
Ahsoka's
what's
gonna be her
Ahsoka.
looking for Ezra from Rebels. If I'm not wrong, I think
or
that's
she like
what I think
calls
it's gonna
out
be. I
like
think
one of her masters from like some period of time.
I'm pretty sure Thrawn is supposed to be like the main villain in that, and that guy's from like
Oh yeah,
Rebels.
that's true.
Yeah,
Thrawn is.
he's a badass.
I know. We might see Hayden Christensen come back though for Ahsoka. Maybe flashbacks or something. I won't be
Yeah.
surprised because.
I want more Hayden Christensen as
Oh my
Anakin.
God.
That's all I know.
Oh
My
God.
dad doesn't like him.
Imagine
My dad doesn't
his
like
haircut
him.
in Revenge of the Sith.
I don't understand.
Pretty
Mullet.
fitting. My Battlefront menu has Anakin.
So does mine.
on the
Anakin-
screen.
It's Anakin in his General Skywalker uniform.
Yeah, me too.
That will be amazing.
Where were we at before though?
We're talking about the
Vader
fights.
versus Obi-Wan.
Can we
Obviously,
talk about the power
the
that
focal
both
point.
of them showed? Like, can we talk about that? Like Vader put it like when Vader bent down and like crushed the ground underneath Obi-Wan.
Oh my God, yes.
That was
he calls it the
awesome.
earthquake with the Force.
Yeah.
That was funny. That
And then
was
he's
sick.
throwing rocks with him. At,
That
like,
was
throwing
badass.
rocks
I love
at him and
how
stuff.
Obi-Wan
He caught
went
his
for, like, 50
lightsaber the way
rocks
that he
and
caught
throw it
Reva's,
right at
or-
Vader. That was the
Yeah.
best
Like he
part.
caught it
One
with the
of best
Force
parts.
again. That was awesome. Dude,
This
like,
battle is more than just like some physical fight. It's more than just some normal lightsaber
It's
battle.
more than
It's personal.
any-
it's
any-
historic.
like
it's
any other
some
lightsaber
grand
battle.
fight.
This is a real
Yeah,
lightsaber
it's-
battle. If you go
it's-
look
it's
for
a real,
everything
it's
else,
raw.
this is like the peak of lightsaber battle. Like I love how
It really is. I don't use the term much, but
This is
yeah.
in my opinion, the second best lightsaber duel in live action
It's
in Star Wars.
First has
It's
to be
definitely
the same
one of the
characters.
I'm
Yeah,
not
for
saying
number one
second,
main
though, I'm
action.
saying-
Yeah,
I'm
number
saying
one main
first.
action, lightsaber fight is definitely that one. I think of all time, I think obviously it's not as important, but the fight between Ahsoka and Maul in the end of Clone Wars, that was awesome too.
That was a good fight, yes.
When they're on Mandalore, I guess it's not really the end.
That was a
Getting near the end.
very, very good fight. I love how it's been like 10 years later after Order 66, and Obi-Wan and Anakin still has the moves from Episode 3 when they were fighting.
Oh
on
yeah,
the
you see
Mustafar.
Obi-Wan's stance?
Mhm.
His
Yeah,
stance he did?
oh
Their
my
stance.
Oh my God, dude, this actually got me tearing
Oh
up.
my God.
Like happy
Dude, I
tears,
almost
sad tears.
cried, and I
This shit
don't
got me.
cry when I watch something like Star Wars.
I don't
I
cry
never
either.
cry. I
did
feel
not.
so sad, but I
My
never
God.
cry. I was about to cry.
The only time I ever got
Dude.
upset over Star Wars when I was very young, and I was like the first time watching Revenge of the Sith, and Anakin goes to the dark side. When he was like, "What have I done?" I was like, "No!" I got so upset.
And then the younglings. He killed the younglings
The women and the children
and
too.
the children too.
Oh wait, speaking of memes, sorry to jump here, but he said hello there to Luke.
Yeah, he
At
did.
the end. I was like, yo. They come back to it so
Oh,
much.
I was
yeah,
waiting for
Revenge of the
that.
Sith.
And no, at one point earlier in the show, if I'm not wrong, he says hello to somebody, and I'm waiting for him to say there, and he never did, and I was so upset.
Hello there.
He was
He said-
like,
oh my God, he said
hello.
Luke.
I
I
love
was
how
like, what?
Uncle
Where's
Owen
the hello there?
I love how Uncle Owen like respects him now and actually let him say hello to his nephew.
This entire episode really has.
Uncle
Some of
Owen
it
was
seems
a boss
fan
for
service because
fighting
the memes and stuff.
Reva. Can we talk
Alright.
about that? He was
But-
a boss for standing up to her.
Because
Oh,
we're
yeah,
getting
he
there.
was.
Can we
And
please
Peru
talk
too,
about
both of them.
Qui-Gon Jinn
They did hold their
returning?
own. We're not done with Vader yet. Hold on.
Come on, bro.
There's still a lot unsaid about Vader versus Anakin.
Alright, Vader versus Anakin.
Yeah, like
I-
Diary said though, you said that about the Vader like doing like the earthquake thing of like destroying. I thought they were gonna show the Force. I thought they were just gonna have a lightsaber battle, but my God, they did not. And I'm so glad they used the Force mid battle as well. I love when it's just more than
You
just
know what I
dueling.
thought?
I guess.
I thought they were gonna do the Force push from Episode 3. Remember when they both were pushing?
Oh,
Yeah,
when they
I
both
thought they
I
were the
killed
same
each other
wanted
thing.
to
and
see
they
that
both-
so
Yeah.
bad, but it didn't happen.
I thought it was either gonna be that, or they were gonna do the thing where they spin it like non-stop for no reason.
Mhm.
That would have
Yeah.
been more stupid.
But you gotta
But I thought they were gonna
remember,
do
that
the
Vader
Obi-Wan
can't really
push
do
too.
a lot of
Yeah.
tricks with the lightsaber because of that big ass suit.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, he was very
Dude.
mobile for being
Yeah, he
Which
was.
I'm not mad about. I could
He's,
honestly care
they
he's
less.
showed
so
how vulnerable
strong
he
with
was,
the
too.
Force.
Because he
Yeah,
still
doesn't
looked
really need to
clunky
use a
while
lightsaber.
moving, but he looked very mobile while moving. Like it looked like he was like
He's
kind
so-
of like in
How do I
top
say it?
shape in the suit.
He's so strong with the Force that he doesn't really have to use a lightsaber. He's like he's very Force sensitive.
And he showed that against
he's
fucking
Even like
Scarface.
the Emperor, it doesn't use a lightsaber that much. And
I didn't expect
he
the Emperor
uses the
to show
Force
up.
most often.
That was cool. Yeah, it perfectly displays the powers that both of them have on each end. It's like not even about light and dark anymore. It's about these two characters and their personal relationship and what's happened with them. It's not even about light and dark and all that shit.
How they became.
My God.
Dude,
Like, go ahead.
the one scene when they both like were throwing rocks at each other at first, it was Vader was throwing them, covering the hole, and then what happened? Obi-Wan like pushed him with the Force, and then he lifted up all the rocks behind him and started throwing them at Vader.
Dude,
That was sick.
That was insane. I was like, what the fuck am I?
I did not think
this?
Obi-Wan had that in him, but that was awesome.
I did not either.
Like
Bro,
you could
it's
tell,
so
like you could
odd.
tell how experienced he was in the Force. Like
Yeah,
he just
it
needed
really
to
came back
get
to
like
him.
in touch with it. Like he knew what he was doing, he just wasn't able to. Like he really cut
He
off
knew
his
it had to
tie
be
to the
done.
Force, and then like he just retied it. Like he
Yeah.
became one with the Force again.
It also comes back to A New Hope again when they show Obi-Wan then the mind tricks and all that. He like reconnects with it, and now since we have Qui-Gon, I guess it's good to know that he wasn't
I think
alone
we
the
can
entire
get a
time.
season 2 now. I think a season 2 can make a lot of sense now, honestly.
Definitely possible. I don't
'Cause
know what
now
they would do for it.
They were walking somewhere,
But
you know what I mean? Like they
possible.
were walking through that big mountain
They
cave
were
thing.
no, I know what they were doing.
And
the
Qui-Gon
journey.
was like, "You have a long
They were-
journey ahead of you."
They
So
were
that,
doing the
that leaves a wide open, a blank page for season 2. I don't know what they could do, but they could definitely do
have to
something.
do
They could do stuff with
Vader
bounty
again.
hunters. Exactly. They don't even have to bring in Vader into it.
Oh,
They can
some
leave
Cad
the
Bane.
probably not. I
Cad
probably can't leave
Bane
the
all
Inquisitors
making a
into it 'cause
return.
I mean, oh yeah.
I
I
wanna
don't,
meet
Reva's still
I
alive,
don't
too.
understand though.
Reva
like,
is still
how
alive. We
Cad
could get a show
Bane,
about her,
like,
which
he
I
got
heard was a rumor.
taken out of the series really easy. Like he did not deserve that.
Who?
Cad Bane. Like I feel like they're going to definitely bring him back.
Oh, and Book of
and
Boba
he's-
Fett.
Or like,
Yeah, he got done dirty.
like I feel like they're
Let's go
going to
see
definitely
him,
bring him
but-
back.
It was cool. It would be really cool to see him live action again. Like actually, not this old senior citizen Cad Bane, but Cad Bane, actual Cad Bane.
Or like they make one
Um,
like how after the Clone Wars and all that, how his journey like that, you know what I mean? And he found his way to like
Yeah.
Boba Fett.
I wish they showed more. I mean, I guess the Mandalorian is kind of like the bounty hunter side of Star Wars. So never mind. I don't know, but Obi-Wan vs. Vader. Yeah, the rocks thing. I was bringing it up again. And I can't appreciate it enough. I can't put into words how much I enjoy this scene. It's such a beautiful but dark moment, and it's just so well done.
Oh,
The
shout out!
choreography, the score, like whatever that music is, that angelic voice behind it, the dueling, of course, the force ability that is shown, the perfect display of emotion and raw power between these two and their relationship is all done so phenomenally well. And my God, I'm gonna rewatch it so many times.
Whoever pointed out the fact, I think it was on Twitter, it was either on Twitter or Instagram. Whoever pointed out the fact that Ahsoka took the left side of the mask, Obi-Wan took the right, and then Luke took the mask off. Shout out to you, dude. You did it.
Dude.
That was beautiful.
Again, Star
Beautiful
Wars is
breakdown.
poetry.
Shout out to you.
Star Wars is poetry, and it's so well done. Oh my God! What else happens in the scene that we haven't talked about?
What was it? It said like the
We're probably repeating
apprentice, it said
ourselves a
the
lot, but
apprentice,
it's
the
alright.
master, and the son. That's what it was. That's what it was. It was the apprentice took the left side, the master took the right, and then the son took it off.
It all completes. Oh, it really is poetic.
This is amazing.
Wow. But oh yeah, so when Vader does get his mask like damaged or whatever, and you can see what remains of Anakin inside of there, and it's Vader talking to him. Face
Wait.
to face.
Can we please point this out? I know, but I love how
Go ahead, you can.
Obi-Wan didn't use the saber that much to damage the suit. I mean, he used his actual hilt to damage the
Oh yeah,
he
that's
didn't
true.
wanna hurt him,
He was hesitating. He did not want to kill him.
You can tell
he
that
knew
he
what
still
was
cared
left.
about his old friends.
Yeah.
That's
true.
You
He
knew it
could've-
too, because
he
he
was
said
messing him up with the
sorry
hilt,
at one
actually.
point.
He could have killed him right then and there, but he did.
Oh,
Yeah,
100%.
Vader was defeated. It's so odd seeing Vader so vulnerable, especially in this show. After we see this overwhelmingly powerful, like,
Sith
monster.
Lord.
This is
Like,
the most
yeah.
angry version of him, I feel, but this is nowhere near the most powerful.
I feel like
This is like the perfect portrayal of him.
Like, but
I'm not sure if you've watched my other videos, but when Vader is this overwhelmingly powerful, like, monster that's portrayed as like a horror character,
yeah.
he's perfect. That's like the perfect portrayal of him.
Now, we need a show
Fallen
of him
Order,
like after this time
that.
period. Between this time period and Rogue One would be oh my god.
I would love that. How much is it? 9 years?
Yeah, I think it's like
Probably,
9,
yeah.
10 years, I believe.
9, like around
Is
decade.
Leia?
So
Yeah,
much
probably, yeah.
happened between. So they could make a whole cast of characters that you could fall in love with, just to have them kill it at the end by Vader. I wouldn't mind it. I would
Who
more
would
Vader,
even be in
please.
a show like that? It would probably be like
I
Palpatine
don't
would
even
probably be in it. The Inquisitors again.
Yeah.
I love how the Grand Inquisitor came back.
You could hunt down Jedi. What's that guy's name?
Quinlan Voss.
Yep, Quinlan's still alive. That's
Yeah,
somebody that
yeah,
he could
that's
hunt
true.
down. We know Yoda's still alive. Obviously, nothing better happened with Yoda. That'll just be stupid.
Yeah, they shouldn't touch Yoda. He's like the one character they can't touch. Because it tarnishes this whole thing.
Obviously, there's
With
still a
the
whole bunch of things going on with like the
original trilogy.
Rebel like alliance, or you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they could
That was a
obviously
big
do
worry
something
with the
with
show.
that.
That it was going to tarnish the original trilogy, which again, I think it made it even better. Like some stuff people I see
It
pointing out
tied a
that-
lot of time periods together.
Yeah,
I feel
yeah,
like that's
and it
what
connects
they're doing
everything
with what's
even
going
better.
on lately. They're tying time periods together, which means
Yeah,
a lot.
I think they do it really well.
They really let us down with the sequels, and the fact that Disney's putting out all these shows and they're actually like good shows is very good for
I
Star
can't
Wars
wait
timeline
for
and
a
just Star Wars
season.
overall.
I know this ain't about Kenobi, but getting into like all this, I can't wait for a season 3 of The Mandalorian. Because remember, this is the first, like, not the first, but like one of the first live action like sequels we have for like a long time, based off like what happened to like the Empire and all that.
Yeah, me too. Should we come
And-
back for each episode of Mandalorian when that's out?
Yeah, we
And just
should
sit here?
we should do that. Just talk about this.
I know you love that. You love the Mandalorian.
100% love that.
I mean, your name is Grugo.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I spelled it wrong, but that's alright.
I did spell it wrong, yes, but like, who cares?
Big Grugo.
That's what makes it
Grogu.
unique. It's
All
alright.
all my friends know what it is, so like I'm like,
That's true. But back to Vader versus Obi-Wan. His voice.
Oh
I need to put that out.
man.
It is the most eerie but haunting and most like the guttural feeling that I felt in this episode, and it is so powerful. If you watch any of my other videos, or if you two have watched any of my stuff, you know I'm a whore for emotion and just raw, like
mean
power
ass
and just raw
power.
emotion. And this was the most guttural when it in and out of what used to be Anakin to the suit's effect of his voice on his voice, and you could just hear him, the voice going in and out, and again lightsaber like lighting on his face in and out. It's so well done, and my God, I can't put it into words. What do you feel about that?
I
Like,
love
what-
how
It was
Someone else
awesome.
talk
It was the most beautiful. It was, in my opinion, the most beautiful scene of the show. Like it was just awesome. Like the way that he kept cutting in and out. Like it wasn't the same sound over and over again like it was in Rebels. Like his voice thing would completely cut off at some points, and you could
Yes.
strictly hear Anakin, and then it would come back on, and all you could hear was Vader, like a crackly Vader, and then it would cut out through mid sentences. Like it was perfect. They did it perfectly.
It was.
It was amazing.
and then his breathing too.
Vader,
Oh my
when
God.
Vader was like, "You didn't kill Anakin, I did." Like after Obi-Wan said sorry. Oh man, that was awesome.
Oh my God.
You didn't
It
kill
was.
Anakin, I did.
What about you, Grugo? Go ahead. About Vader's voice in this. Or not. That's fine too. Are you good? Grugo!
I'm here.
Jeff.
I'm out here. I was
You alright?
talking about-
Oh, you're good. What do you think about Vader's voice?
about. I love how they used. Wait,
Oh, there you go.
Alright, see?
Go ahead.
I love
Vader's
how,
voice and how it goes in and out.
They didn't really use like they used more of how do I put it in a word? They used Anakin like speaking out more than like the actual voice of Vader. Like him, like what Diary said basically, how him taking one breath in and then I'm just like for some reason.
You're just speechless,
I'm
aren't you?
speechless, yeah.
That's how I feel.
can't talk.
It-
I
it's
really
just-
can't talk right
it's-
now. It's so.
It's like, it's so well done, and they really put so much care into it. I feel like, and it really is for the fans. Like, anyone would love this, and it's so well done. I think, and there's so much care and love put into it, especially this scene. And there's so much stuff that they they didn't even need to add, but they added it anyways, and it made it just even better.
This entire
I have
episode,
to say one thing. If you think Vader isn't the baddest villain in all of live action movies, anything of all time, you're wrong. Your opinion is invalid.
Vader
When
is
you go
the top.
whenever the poll is ever made of best villain in live action history, the only option ever should be Darth Vader.
Vader is
Darth
the
Vader,
villain.
Lord Vader, and Anakin Skywalker are the only three options.
Even including Anakin.
Yep. And that's wrong too.
There's so much pain and guilt that comes with Obi-Wan too. The acting in this is phenomenal. Hayden Christensen does a great job, and is it Ewan or Ewan? Ewan McGregor? I'm not sure how to say his name.
Ewan.
But both of them do phenomenal in this scene.
Ewan.
The whole show in general, but in this scene especially, it really shined, and they absolutely kill it.
I wonder if that was
100%
Ian
nailed it.
It's so well
McDermott
done.
as Darth Sidious at the end. He kind of looked, I don't know,
Yeah.
maybe it was just me, he kind of looked a little different.
It kind of looked off.
He
Yeah, it
looked
did look
like
off.
he was still young.
Looked more wide.
He looked like
That makes sense.
CGI or, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
I
It could
feel
have been
like-
de-aged maybe, but then again, they have effects on him, so maybe not. I don't know how that works, but it might not have been him.
He just looked a bit like just
or it
different.
could've
I
been
don't
one
know.
of his-
He looked
it
fine.
could've
I'm
been
not
one of his
complaining about it.
clones.
It's not a
It
complaint.
could have been one of his
I
clones.
was glad that he made an appearance. I thought it was awesome.
Could have been one
Yeah.
of his clones.
But
he didn't have clones at the time. I mean, yeah, I was.
Nah, yeah,
well, I
they're still
doubt
working
it.
at it.
You don't know that.
He was still. He was still young. Vader's still young. Everything was still young.
He did. I don't think he.
He wasn't
Really
looking for
set.
another. He wasn't looking for a different apprentice at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe he was. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he was.
That was-
No,
I don't know if that was
think
ever
the
talked
clone
about
thing probably
anymore.
started later. I'm not sure, but the scream too, of Obi-Wan's dialogue, the most guttural, raw scream I've ever heard, and literally anything when he screams Obi-Wan when Obi-Wan's walking away
Oh, yeah.
was so again like guttural. I don't know how
It
else I
was
can say
like
it.
when like Darth Maul.
And it
says,
sounded like Anakin
"No
too. It sounded
way,"
like it was like yeah.
It was a mix of both,
Obi-Wan.
and it was so well done. Oh my God.
Obi-Wan, you son of a bitch! You took.
You can see both of
away
them
from me."
have a huge conflict with one another, and they have a perfect display of that, and they show it really well, and they show it instead of telling us, which I think Disney Star Wars, or just Star Wars recently in general, has done a really good job of showing instead of telling us. Like, take the sequels for example, never got an explanation. Somehow Palpatine team returned.
Oh.
Like,
No, Palpatine
it just told us.
returned. That
But in
line
this,
was just
they showed it
hysterical.
instead of telling us, and it's a perfect display of it. It's just so well done. But Vader was defeated. That's all it is. Obi-Wan defeated Vader.
And you gotta remember, Vader's
And
one
it
of
was
the
a
most
amazing
badass
scene.
villains at this time. He's one of the best Darth Lords
He's one of the most
ever.
powerful, yeah.
No one in history, except for Obi-Wan, defeated him. Or no, I'm wrong. His own
There's
son
probably some shit in
defeated
comics,
him. His own-
legend,
his
all
own, his own son defeated him.
Well, yeah, that too. But, oh my
But
God.
like, at the time, he was like, no one couldn't kill him. No Jedi, no one. Like, even some of his own, Inquisitors wanted to kill him, and they failed. There's a game, like, the game called Star Killer. Like,
Force Unleashed. Yeah. That too.
he had
I hate
all that
that game.
power. He could have
Like, I love it. It's an awesome game, but people take that game way too seriously when they try to like rank Star Wars characters. Like they think, oh,
Yeah,
Star
yeah.
Killer's the
Oh, yeah.
like. No, he's not, dude. It's a
I would
video
say
game
he's
to make
got a
kids
cool ass
enjoy
design,
it.
though.
Like, yeah, he's awesome.
He's got a cool
Like,
ass
it's
design.
that guy voices Maul in Sam Witwer. That's Sam Witwer. He voices Maul in like in the
Oh, yeah.
shows.
Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That guy's awesome.
Yeah.
I really like that. guy.
Obi-Wan versus Vader. I think.
Now let's
Is
see
there anything else to
season
talk about?
2 with
It was so good.
With Kenobi versus.
I don't know. I think we covered everything there, right?
That was obviously the
I
focal
really
point
like
of the episode.
how I really
and the
like
main
how
thing.
the one guy I really like is that pilot for that ship. Like that. What's that guy's name?
Ice Cube
Dude,
son.
that looks like Ice Cube. Wait, oh, shoot,
No,
son.
that's his son. That's his son.
Oh shit, that makes a lot more sense. All right,
that's
yeah.
what
What about him?
That guy, like, I really like that guy's character. He seems like I feel like they could do something with him. I don't know
He's
what.
so chill.
I feel like he could definitely be in season 2 of Obi-Wan. Like Obi-Wan could help them. Now he can't because Obi-Wan can't leave the planet. Maybe they can't make a season 2 of Obi. It just doesn't make sense for Obi-Wan to keep living.
It doesn't.
He can, but it just doesn't make sense for him to continuously leave. Like we were always told that he couldn't
I wish
leave
Battlefront had
Tatooine
started
to watch
updates,
over
man.
Luke.
We'd get bad Diamond Vader.
Oh, no!
If they
It
so
could be
it's
like-
I
good.
want a
Remember from
Vader
Rebels?
show so bad.
Remember
Me
from-
too.
Remember from Rebels when he versus it was Kenobi versus Darth Maul again? Remember? We could do a live action one, but like make Obi-Wan very fucking old.
Yeah, but that can't be in season 2 of
Very
Obi-Wan.
fucking old.
It'd be like
If they did do season 2, they'd have to.
it'd be like a 20-year time. No, not a. It'd be like a 15-year time jump. It wouldn't even be that.
I know,
How
I
much,
guess we'll
how
see.
much time?
I really want to see more Obi-Wan, but we had to trust them to see however they would write a season 2 in the first place, and to see how they execute it. So not sure what they would do. So we're gonna see. But obviously, Obi-Wan Kenobi, General Kenobi versus Lord Vader was the focal point and the main thing we had to talk about. It would have been fitting as like the grand finale of talk about it at the end, but it's something we had to talk about like immediately. We had to talk about it. But what other things happened that we kind of sprinkled on?
Qui-Gon Jinn.
Yeah, Qui-Gon. Go ahead, Jeff.
We can talk about Qui-Gon,
Qui-Gon.
and we can talk about like what went on with like Reva because we
I love how
haven't talked about her yet.
Qui-Gon came in at the end and said, like, we have a journey. Like, that hit me. That hurts.
I also
I
like
told,
how they kind of
Diary
covered
this
up.
earlier.
They kind of covered up. Sorry for cutting you off here, Jaden, but they kind of covered up
You're good.
another thing where I'm pretty sure Qui-Gon didn't become like a full force ghost until like right around episode 3 or 4. Pretty sure, like right around A New Hope, like where he wasn't supposed to be like a full force ghost.
Wasn't
at the
there a
time.
thing where he could only be a voice? 'Cause he
Yeah,
didn't,
but
learn
yeah,
it or something.
but then up to the time,
Wasn't he
what
like
did he say?
one of the first
He said something.
Jedis to find that out?
Yeah, but he never completed his training, so he only got halfway there. He couldn't become a full force life form, like a full being of the force. Like that's why. But like
Yeah, I think it was.
then again,
only his
now
voice.
like in this last episode of Kenobi, he says, what does he say? He was like, I've been here, you just haven't been able to see me, or something like that.
Yeah.
You've been
So it kinda
training.
covered that
Obi-Wan
up.
had
That's
to.
another thing that they kind of covered up with like the whole Qui-Gon flashbacks. But I've been waiting for a Qui-Gon flashback the whole time. They could have did it and not even said anything, and I would have loved it. I wish there would have been more Qui-Gon, honestly. That's why I think there's gonna be like something. There's got to be something more, and I don't know what, but
Maybe.
there has to.
We'll have to see.
You don't know.
I thought he was gonna show up
They come out
earlier.
with a
I feel like
series
you
or
don't
something
bring
like
that big of an actor into a show for that small amount of a time.
Yeah.
I
That's
feel
just
like
such a
they
short.
do like a little series how like the Jedi became the Force gauge. You know what I mean?
I thought he was gonna show up in the fight. When Obi-Wan's getting like buried alive by the stones.
Yeah, I thought
and
he was gonna come
debris
there
that
too.
Vader
That's
threw
what
at
I
him.
thought he was gonna be.
I thought it was gonna be like
I'm
that.
excited
and boom,
that
like,
excited
Obi-Wan
that
got the
he's
strength
back,
to
though. I
unleash
hope
him.
we see him
But
more.
he
I
didn't.
don't know where else we would see him, but I'm happy
Yeah,
that he's
me
back.
too.
Even if we don't see him, if we hear him more often, like I just want more like
Literally anything.
anything.
More
Yeah,
from the
just
show.
the nostalgia. I just
That was
want
in
the
the show.
nostalgia back. Please
Anything.
give me more nostalgia.
Yeah.
I'd appreciate it, Disney.
I love how
Yeah,
they brought back.
Qui-Gon Jinn.
I love how they brought him back. Like it could have been anyone else, but it was Qui-Gon, and I'm so happy.
I'm surprised they actually got him. That was definitely Liam Neeson, right? That wasn't
Oh
fake
yeah,
or
no, that
anything.
was definitely.
I'm surprised they actually got him back.
Pretty sure he was in the cast
I
of the
don't,
show. I'm
don't
pretty
like how episode 1 they used Qui-Gon Jinn just for him to die. And that. And
Well, we
sure.
see
They
more
didn't
of
use
him
it.
everywhere
And
else.
in my opinion, Qui-Gon Jinn is like a catalyst for what happened in Star Wars. He's not
Yeah.
just there. His death is
Qui-Gon's
like
like
the
a founding father.
catalyst of the Star Wars universe that we know. Like if it weren't for Qui-Gon's death, the Star Wars universe would be completely different.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
The story of Star Wars.
Nothing would have went down with Obi-Wan.
It wouldn't have gone down the
Same
way it
wouldn't
happened.
go down with Anakin.
Anakin
true,
probably
that's
would have
true.
never went to the dark side. He might not have ever even really gotten with Padme. You never even know. Like he might have never met Padme. Luke and Leia might have never happened. Never know
That's
what
true.
would have
That's a
happened.
fair point. I didn't think about that. Damn.
It never had the.
Oh, I don't know.
Qui-Gon was the father
Nah.
Anakin needed, and Obi-Wan was the brother Anakin got.
Yeah, and we see all that
Did
all.
you say you were my brother, Anakin?
We see
I
it all
love
fall
you.
and crumble in one of the best movies. Wait, it's not the best movie.
You're my brother, Diary.
I'm glad they didn't
love
bring
you.
Qui-Gon into the fight, because they kept the relationship between Obi-Wan and Vader present, and just kept just between them two, and that personal vendetta against each other. I'm glad they had that.
I don't think
They
it's
didn't actually
possible,
bring
but
him
I
into the
would
fight.
love to see, like... This is why we need a Vader show, dude. I would love to see Qui-Gon, like, reach out to Anakin, and, like, a moment where Anakin's just so mad.
You ever see that
You know what I mean?
comic
Like, I would love
comic
that.
panels of Boba Fett talking to Vader, and he's like, we learned the name of the Jedi that's like running amok, and
Wait,
they,
what
he
happened?
gives the name, it's Skywalker. There's a comic panel of
Yeah, when
Boba
he
Fett
says
saying,
Skywalker.
like, Vader's like, what did you get? Like, what did you get? Did you get anything useful to me? And Boba Fett was like, yeah, we got a name. And Vader's like, he's there, he's listening, and Boba Fett tells him that the name that he got was Skywalker, and then it's just Vader says nothing. He just completely
he's just sitting
like
there. He's standing
speechless.
there.
He doesn't talk. Yeah, he just stands
Oh,
there.
yeah, I
He's
think I have
shocked.
seen that. Yeah.
He's shocked.
I would love to
And
see that.
he's
And
also-
not never gonna happen, but that'd be
He's
awesome
kinda-
to see in
He
live
was
action.
also kind of pissed off that Palpatine, like, how do I say it? Did not tell, or Palpatine did not tell him that he had a son this entire time.
I don't think Palpatine
Yeah.
knew. Nobody knew.
No, Palpatine did know.
Yeah.
He did.
Well,
he just
how the fuck
didn't
did
tell.
Palpatine
He just didn't tell him.
birth Anakin.
Probably because of the Force.
Fucking, he's like Jesus. Anakin really was the chosen one. Well, besides that, what else is there? I don't know. Qui-Gon Jinn was sick to see, obviously. As big as the thing that was, I don't think that was the focal point.
I love
Vader
how
versus Anakin
Uncle
destroys
Owen-
everything else.
I love how Uncle
Fucking, I
Owen-
keep saying Vader versus Anakin. Vader versus Obi-Wan. Jesus.
that would be a great thing to see.
Vader versus Anakin?
Mhm.
You think so?
But yeah,
Maybe.
like that'd be amazing.
Vader would probably destroy him. Anakin never got into his peak when he was in the light side.
I don't know.
But besides that, after Qui-Gon,
I
yeah,
love
there's
how
room
Uncle
for a lot
Owen,
of stuff
though,
to come.
Like gave Ben.
Hmm?
I love how Uncle Owen like respect. Like he started respecting him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he let Luke. He let him see Luke. And remember from the first episode, he hated Ben. He hated him because he did not want his nephew to be a Jedi. But he thought
Yeah.
he killed his brothers and
Another thing with Qui-Gon was that Obi-Wan, after the only reason why he was able to see him was because he got balance in himself and balance in the Force. The whole episode covers a lot about like closure and acceptance.
yeah.
It happens with Obi-Wan having to accept how Vader ended up, and Reva having to accept being like free, and she's finally freed from the Empire and Vader and her past. And then even with Luke, Obi-Wan has to come to accept that he's just gonna be a boy and he has to live how it is. Obi-Wan doesn't have to stay on top of his ass the entire time.
Yeah.
And then Vader has to even accept that he can't obsess over Obi-Wan anymore,
He can't.
and he has to
He
accept
can't
it
beat him.
because Palpatine makes that he covers that pretty quickly at the end.
Yeah.
Whole episode shows dives into that, which I appreciated pretty well. Speaking of that, I was talking about Reva, which I haven't talked about yet. So let's get into Reva. What do you feel about Reva?
I feel like
I-
she definitely.
I like her as a character. I think she has a
100%.
lot of potential to be like
I respect
brought
her.
along as a character. I just don't understand her character and like where she came from,
I give
which is a very hard thing to
I
do.
give her my
because
respect.
we've had all these original characters for so long that we all knew, and then Disney has brought in a lot of new characters, and it's hard to really connect to these characters. It's like, who
Yeah,
are you?
that's
like,
true.
Like, who do you think you are?
One
kind
of
thing.
the Inquisitors
That's a fair point.
is from the Rebels. I know that. One of the Inquisitors. And not the
Yeah,
Grand
the
Inquisitor, but
All
one
of
of them is from.
The guy,
like all
well,
of
yeah,
them.
all of them.
The guy with
Grand
like, the
Inquisitor
hat,
is, like, the
guy
main
with the
one.
hat. He's from.
They're all
The fifth
from.
brother.
They're all from.
Yeah,
The third sister
they're all
is
in
too.
it. Rebels covers the Empire pretty well, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Just like Diary said earlier, with the thing with Ahsoka and Vader.
Oh, that scene was
Which is
amazing.
so poetic. But I like how, again, it comes with conclusions and acceptance. And I like how Reva's character ended up. I like how her story concluded, and I really thought she was gonna like seppuku herself. I honestly thought she was gonna kill herself.
Like, I'm not gonna say it, but she could have easily killed Luke right there, but she stopped.
Yeah.
She had that flashback.
She could have canceled the entire future original trilogy.
When she was about to get slayed down by the one and only.
That's what I don't get. I don't like that. Like, that makes no sense.
What?
She took a lightsaber through the chest by Lord Vader. Like,
yeah, I don't know how she survived, and now she's alive. The show ended, and she's alive.
Like the Grand Inquisitor said, he's like,
still surviving.
Like, anger can do a lot to keep you alive, or something like that. Like, still,
they made the Grand Inquisitor look like a bitch in the show.
I know how the Grand Inquisitor's still alive. His kind
has multiple stomachs.
Yeah, there's 2 stomachs. So
I mean, even if they didn't have 2 stomachs, we knew he was still gonna survive.
If he would have died, I would have fucking laughed my ass off.
That would have been so weird. That would have made Rebels completely not canon.
Like, people like
by one single choice.
I have to say something about the Star Wars community. It sucks. People complain about things that haven't happened yet, and they complain about things that they're waiting to see and that they haven't seen. Like, let the show run its course. If you don't like what you see at the end of it, then complain. That's exactly how this episode went. You looked on anywhere on social media, episodes 1, 2, 3, and 4 were all people complaining. Not necessarily 3, because that was the episode where they fought for the first time, right? And then 4.
Yeah. People have their expectations way too high.
Yeah.
They just base it off of their opinion and their thoughts of what they want instead of the episode alone in the show, which is a big flaw, and really any fan base, but especially Star Wars. What's the saying? No one hates on Star Wars more than Star Wars fans.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the thing. I wish it wasn't, but that's the thing. But yeah, I like how Reva ended up. I like how they concluded her character. I didn't like her in the beginning. I thought she was way too like try-harding, and like way too.
She wanted.
Again, her character
too
just didn't
angry.
make sense. She had too much.
Yeah.
She had too big of a role with not enough background, and that's kind of what threw it off. Because we know who all these other main characters are, and then they throw in this brand new main character and throw a lot of focus on her. But I think she did the actor did a good job. I think the character is a good character. It's a good supporting character. It kind of made sense what was going on. Survived over 66 just didn't make sense. I don't think they should have ever made a scene of her getting slaughtered by Vader. I think they should have stuck with the fact that she witnessed it happen and she somehow survived. Like,
wait, she got slaughtered by him? I thought she was just
she got stabbed in the chest.
You remember episode? Yeah. What was it? 5? Yeah, remember episode 5?
Was episode 5 when Vader fights. When the episode
fights her. He
didn't even do nothing. He demolished.
It was like
he disrespected
attempt at an attack.
He took your weapon, split it in half.
She was using a lightsaber, and she still was. Literally.
He was using his mind, to stop her from killing him, and then took her weapon from her, split it in half, gave her the other half, and then fought her with it.
He even mercied her,
and then took it
still
again.
Couldn't touch him.
When he took it again, I thought he was gonna Count Dooku her. I thought I was like, oh my god.
Me too. When he had two of them in front of her, I thought she was gonna slice her head off. I expected a brutal death, but
I thought Count Dooku was going.
They never even died.
He 100%.
And she gets stabbed in the chest again and survives again, which is so crazy to me. But I mean,
right there, man. And I'm like, listen, bitch.
I'm honestly surprised that she really did survive to the end. Not even till the end.
Really
when
thought she was
so ended and
she was like in so much pain that whole last episode too. So it's obvious that it did affect her, and she hasn't fully recovered, which is good. I'm glad they didn't make her seem like all 100% again.
Imagine they had Owen just
happened in the last episode. Dude, Owen kind of sold that.
Got her.
Like absolutely whiffed the shot.
Luke's aunt. What is her name? Benny?
Or nobody has worse aim than Star Wars characters.
I was about to say they had the Stormtrooper aim. I thought they had so many chances to just get her. And
nobody has more plot armor than somebody in Star Wars having a blaster pointed at them.
That's true. Oh my god. Besides Reva, what else is there to do? I think that's pretty much it, right?
I'm tweeting that out right now. Nobody has more plot armor than somebody getting a blaster pointed at them in a Star Wars. Anything Star Wars related.
I love how.
Yeah. Well, go ahead.
I love how they just pull out the blaster out of this tiny ass hole. And I was like, I'm not.
They were strapped
I'm
up.
not trying to shoot anyone.
They knew what was going on. They were aware. They knew it was coming. They were prepared.
Uncle Owen though, like I feel like he wasn't like he didn't want to shoot. He didn't really want to kill her, but like he also wanted to protect his.
If Luke saw Reva, but I saw a thing on Twitter, or maybe on Twitter, TikTok or something. I don't know. Someone complaining, obviously, again, but they said how Luke saw the lightsaber, but wasn't he knocked out in the scene when she was chasing him?
Oh,
he might not have saw the lightsaber because his like first sight of the lightsaber is in A New Hope, isn't it? Well, yeah, it is. So
well, like he
they can't
knows
really see
like the
that.
Clone Wars and all that stuff.
I mean, I feel like
he probably knew about
I feel like when he
Jedi.
said that, he never saw him that close before. 'Cause obviously, like he was unconscious when Reva, or I don't know how you
And
say
he
her
saw-
name, Reva. Or
Reva.
wake up
I
and
think
start
I've been
waking
saying
up.
Reva.
I'm gonna call her Reva. Probably saw the lightsaber, but that's like he was obviously like he knew what he was running from. And he could see it because she had the lightsaber out when she walked into the room that when he climbed up the ladder.
Oh,
when
yeah.
Aunt Beru was in. So yeah, he definitely seen it.
Yeah, she had the shit at night the whole time.
He just never like when he was with Kenobi. That was like the first time he had ever really seen one.
Did
before.
she know that Luke was
like held one?
Vader's son?
No.
Yeah,
Why would she go
I think she did. She had to have.
to get revenge for her younglings?
Think she-
Like that makes sense, but the hologram, I don't think it said anything about Luke being Vader's.
It said something
like,
about
blood.
protect the boy. I don't know what the.
Yeah,
I think
mean,
she
his
just
first
like
wish
the
was
second
to
she
kill
saw
him.
She
it,
probably
we
thought
saw
that he was like very special to the Empire, and she was like, "I'll make go like bring him in, so they respect me, and so they give me my shit back."
If anything, maybe she was trying to kill him so they wouldn't get the kid. That's why, because she was against the Empire, or she was against Vader.
Oh yeah,
Alone.
probably.
Maybe that's why. It's interesting, but
Bro,
it made
if
for
she-
some good
If
scenes.
she killed
and what a
him,
good
bro, if
fucking
she killed
episode!
him,
Holy
then she's
shit!
kind of dead because Vader's gonna beat shit out of her.
I mean, she
I
survived.
just watched
and
the
I don't think
clip.
we'll see
I
her
just
again.
came back. I just watched the clip. He says something. I think it's what's his name? General Organa, the guy. What's his name? Ale Organa. He says something.
Yeah.
I think it's his voice over like that. One. But he says, what does he say? Has he learned about the children? And then he cuts off thinking about Tatooine or something like that.
Oh, all right. Thanks.
So I guess children and then Tatooine. I guess she thought that there was multiple children on Tatooine and didn't think about
she already
Leia.
had Leia.
Even though I feel
That's
like
true.
she like would have picked up that Leia was. Maybe she knew and she just didn't think like she had no choice. She couldn't go after Leia, but she knew about.
Maybe the
Luke.
show hinted at her knowing, but didn't tell us that she knew. You know what I mean? Like it was up to the fans to
Well,
whether or
now
not.
she has to know now.
Figure it
Like,
out.
At this point, she has to know.
Oh, yeah,
because she
now-
goes to go
yeah,
kill
now
the kid, so
probably.
it's obviously Vader's kid. But I think she's obviously never gonna be able to go back and tell Vader that. Vader will kill her if he ever sees her.
I mean,
again.
now she's free. It really did cement the fact that it's a conclusion and it's a finale. It concluded everything, every story, every subplot, and all around it just connected pretty much everything. And I
There's
think
plenty.
it
They
did it
still
pretty
have
damn well.
plenty of like. Still have plenty of paper left to finish the story.
Yeah, they could.
That's the
They have like
analogy I'm
9
gonna go
years
with.
worth of wait
Or
between.
metaphor, whatever.
If they want to do more of Obi-Wan Kenobi, like second season or something.
Want to do?
They could do a lot
Reva
more.
again. They could do Reva.
Yeah. Hopefully, maybe even Vader. I doubt
yeah.
it, but that would be awesome.
I
Just
would
a show
pay
called
you
Vader.
$1 million.
Vader, and it's based on him after like Order 66, like after when he fought like Obi-Wan. It's him hunting down Jedi, him hunting down rebels. Like I feel like that would be a good ass series. Just
Really, anything, give me anything
him
Vader.
doing something. Like,
Shout out to Star Wars Theory and his fan film that he makes. It's fucking banging. Can't wait
He
for
is-
more.
Well, wait, is that the one with Obi-Wan and
He
Vader
is-
in New Hope? The remake of the fight?
No, he has like a Vader fan film. It's the Mace
Oh,
Windu,
like
it's
actual-
like you know the Mace Windu thing, or Mace Windu's in that tunnel and he's like killing all these stormtroopers in the dark.
Oh yeah,
wait, I
yeah,
think I know what
yeah,
you're
yeah. I
talking
know
about.
that. I saw that one.
I'm not gonna rewatch it.
That. Star
And then
Wars
there's a
Theory.
scene where he
Star
Wars
walks up,
Theory?
he walks out into the light and he looks up, and he looks at Vader. Like you see Vader, and then the camera points back at Mace Windu, and you can see this beaten ass like face. It just looks like he
You see
went
his
through
robot
it,
arm.
like burnt and everything from the electricity.
Star Wars
He's got like
Theory
he's
without
blind
him,
in one
I feel
eye, I'm
like
pretty sure.
I feel like without Star Wars Theory, half of this like Star Wars shit that we don't know about, like what happened.
I mean, Star Wars Theory is a
Like he is a goat.
good fan
He
account.
is one of the.
There's a TikTok creator with it's a puppet named Star Wars Dinks, and I love him so much. He just talking about Star Wars nonstop.
I hate the people.
And he knows everything.
I think it's like I'm taking shots on Jaden's channel right now. I don't really care. That J-Dog guy, I'm pretty sure. Like the guy that sits there in the ski mask or whatever and talks about Star Wars, I hate him.
Yeah.
He's such a hypocrite
Why?
in every video. Like one video I'll see where he's like talking about how like people gatekeep and stuff from opinions on Star Wars. It's just stupid. Like
That's what I said before. I was trying not to like. I know people get their expectations. People have their expectations way too high, and they judge the episodes and stuff, or the entire show on their thoughts on what they want instead of the show itself. So I was trying to like defend it at the same time of saying that, like making everyone aware that it's not going to be everything that you like, your highest wishes or anything like that, or just have patience kind of thing. I was trying to defend it. Also make people aware of that
in the first
kind of thing.
episode that has been
People just
good?
have their expectations way too high. Yeah, that's true.
Like name a show where the first episode was like, oh my god, this is a good show.
Every show has
I'm
a
watching
pilot. Every show has a pilot. People don't get that.
You don't get a good episode
But man.
until like the third episode, and that's exactly what we got. The end of the second, what was it? The end of the
first and second one wasn't
Kenobi
bad.
saves Leia. They were.
I still
they were
enjoyed them.
good. They were good episodes. They
Yeah.
were like they were filling you in what was going on. It wasn't filler, but like that's what it was. Like it filled you in on what had happened, like what we had missed. Like we learned new things. We learned about Reva.
The show is literally about Obi-Wan and his like watch over Luke and Leia. And that's what we got.
Amazing show.
We just had
Amazing
some things
season.
added in that was for the better. That's all it is.
It was amazing season. 10 out of 10. Amazing.
It really
Amazing.
was a great show. Sad to say it's concluded now and it's over.
Yeah.
But hopefully we get some more. But my God, I'm gonna rewatch it so many times.
Yeah, that episode's definitely gonna be rewatched. As much as I
One
rewatch
of
like
the
regular
best
actual Star
episodes,
Wars
definitely.
movies, that episode's gonna get rewatched just as much as the movies, 100%.
I'm back on a marathon of just every Star Wars thing. And Kenobi, watch it between Red and Sith and New Hope. Or Obi-Wan
Not
Kenobi,
in like
then
prime
Rogue
COVID,
One,
I would watch a
then
Star Wars movie every night when I would go to bed. I would watch a movie. One of the movies.
Star
I
Wars
knew.
just, that is the shit. It just is.
I love how
I don't know.
I love how they're making all these little series about all these
Peak
different
cinema.
characters, and
It is.
they should keep doing it. They're crushing it, and I can't wait for Ahsoka. That's
What is it? Ahsoka and then Jedi. What is that? Is that show that they're
It's
coming
like-
out with?
Oh, it's
It's
some
about,
kind
I
of
know what you're
Jedi.
talking
It's about Dooku and
Tales of a Jedi.
Tales of a Jedi. Yeah.
That was a Jedi and all that.
I'm excited for that. That looks pretty good. Yeah, that's gonna be animated, isn't it?
I think so.
I think so.
I like anime, like the
I don't
all
know,
the
but-
like the 2 animated shows
Oh
that
my
we
God.
got. Well, 3, I guess. Well, there might be more. I might even be missing some. Clone Wars was epic. Rebels is so underrated. People like really gotta stop calling that like those shows kids shows. That's not a like. It's an awesome show. Like whether you want to call it a kid show or not, it's awesome.
I haven't watched Clone Wars in a while.
Bad
I watched
Batch was
episode
good
like
too. I
recently.
recommend watching Bad Batch. Bad Batch was good.
100%.
Guy killed himself in Clone Wars.
100%.
Yeah, literally.
So it was like, what the fuck?
Definitely. I can't
There's
wait
a
for
scene
Bad
in Clone
Batch.
Wars where Ventress kills somebody, like Asajj Ventress kills somebody, and then kisses them. That's not a kid show. She's holding a dead body by her lightsaber. Her lightsaber, and then kisses the body. If I'm not wrong. I'm pretty sure that's what she does.
Dude, I don't know. But again, it's sad to say that this show is concluded. Obviously, we watch it, but man, Obi-Wan Kenobi was the show. It was phenomenal.
One of
Indeed
but-
was.
one of the best shows
It is the-
of Star Wars ever made. One of the best.
So Kenobi, yeah, probably.
Like this
We
show.
still have a lot of shows coming out and some continuing shows, so we'll be back for them.
This
I'll be back on the channel.
show 100%
Damn.
showed what did Kenobi do after Order 66 in life, and it was very hard for him. And then him coming out as badass and shit. It's just like I love how
Yes.
he was
All right,
living a
well-
poor life, and then sorry, I love how he was living a poor life,
It's okay.
and then like he did not want to do anything with the Force. He wanted Kenobi.
Yeah.
And
Kenobi, then New Hope, and everything that goes on with it. But again, this was the conclusion of Obi-Wan Kenobi, which also, with a bittersweet saying, also the conclusion of the series of Talk About Kenobi. And I think we touched on everything that we wanted to talk about, and we shed light on pretty much everything that we wanted to. So, at the end of this video, thank you for joining me, Diary and Grugo or Grugo.
Thank you for having me.
I think we had fun talking, and thank you for watching this, especially if you made it this far. Not sure how long this is.
I have one thing
Probably
to
gonna be a long
say.
video,
I have one
but
thing
it's
to say to everybody watching. May the force be
Go
with
ahead.
you.
Yes.
The force be with all of you.
But subscribe, like, comment, etc., all that common YouTube stuff you hear everywhere else. And if you're here and you haven't seen my other videos on Kenobi, you can go watch that, because sadly, again, there's not going to be any more. Unless maybe I make predictions or like my desires on what I want in Season 2 or something like that. Not sure. But for now, that is the end of Obi-Wan Kenobi, on the channel. And it's in general for now. So, that is all. Thank you again. And this has been Ghosty, Diary and Grugo. And
the force be with you.
Adios.
yes. May the force be with you.
May the force be
Farewell.
with you guys.